Yes, I've made a huge boob with some gorgeous fabric that I've made into a tried and tested trouser pattern, and they don't fit. So what on earth am I going to do to save this gorgeous fabric? Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing space. Yes, you heard me right, I've made a big mistake, but we all do it. Even if, like me with this one, we make the toile, we do the adjustments and on other garments, and then we come to do it in the favourite fabric and it all goes wrong. But before we get all negative, let's talk about some makes that have gone right this week. I've had an amazing week. I say that a lot, but every week's amazing when you sew, isn't it? I did a vlog on Thursday last week all about whipping up my whips, and I got an amazing 9 garments finished. I know. So if you want to have a nosy at what I actually pulled out of my whips box, I'll pop the link to that vlog below. So that was one day of sewing allocated to whips. And then I also got 2 other garments finished. Well, one of them was in the whips and it was finished, but it was a big finish. And it's one we've been talking about for a while, so I want to show you the actual finished garment on this Monday Makes and Plans vlog. And the other one was on my Makes Plans for last week. So let's talk about the garment that I actually got finished. Here it is. It's my beautiful nail cape from Style Art Pattern. It's been done with handmade or homemade bias binding from some cord I had in my scraps bin, and oh my goodness, this cape takes so much bias binding, it is unbelievable, and I was really struggling at the end to make sure I had enough to finish the cape. So if you're planning on doing the nail cape and you're doing it in expensive or precious bias binding, just let me turn it inside out. I bound it all on the inside in the same binding, and in hindsight what I should have done was just use some plain bias binding on the inside and saved my precious bias binding for round the arms and then just all round at the finish. Everything else could have been done in plain bias binding, but no, I have to go big or go home, don't I? But it's done. The only thing I've done that isn't in the pattern is I've put a press stud on the top and a gorgeous, gorgeous button on so that I can snuggle it round my neck and it'll help me to keep warm when the weather turns cold. So, really pleased with the nail cape. I'm glad it's finished. The other thing that I got done this week is the Saguaro pants for my cord set in this beautiful fabric. They've turned out really well. I've managed to incorporate a little bit of the black at the bottom, which was what the plan was. And they're a good fit. I've made these loads of times, so yeah, that was an easy make after spending a whole day doing whips. I went over to Steph's on Wednesday to sew for the day and I got these done. It's nice to go to a new environment and sew, isn't it? It really invigorates me to go in somebody else's sewing space. So that was a really fun day, and I actually got a garment finished as well. So the saguaros are done. Now you'll remember that I wanted to, or you may not remember, that I wanted to do this as a cord set, and I was worried with a shirt and I was worried that I wouldn't have enough fabric. Well, the good news is I managed to get it out of it. I haven't sewn the other garment, But I wanted a shirt pattern that was loosey-goosey, that I could throw on over the top and have a different top underneath, or tuck in and have two different garments from one, if you like. Thank you to everybody who made suggestions of what pattern to use. But as you'll know, I'm trying to use patterns from my stash. You'll find out in a bit that isn't working. But this one it did. I'm using the Thea shacket from Barra Studios. Yes, it's a shacket, not a blouse. But it's a shirt style. It hasn't got fitted sleeves, it's got drop sleeves, drop shoulder sleeves, whatever you call it, on it. So I've cut that out of the fabric because it will be a looser fit. I know the fit's good on me because I've made about 3 of these already, and I want to make a cord one for this winter. Oh, not made one in cord yet. So that's the Thea. It's cut out but not sewn because, hey, I've made 10 garments this week in theory, so I'm cutting myself some slack there, considering I'm only meant to be making one. I've gone the other extreme, but a lot of them were whips, so they don't count. So the Thea shacket, and that's going to be my make for this week, maybe. When I was at Steph's, we had the big TV on. She's got it on the wall in her room. It's great. When I'm sewing, I have to watch on my laptop or my iPad. I haven't got a TV in this area, so it was nice to sit with the big screen TV and sew. And we watched a load of vloggers, obviously. And one came up, we just had them, we weren't being particularly precious about who we watched, we just left them rolling in the background. And sometimes it's good to do that because you find new vloggers. And one that came up was a lady called Megan. I think her channel's called Megan Sews. I'll pop the details below if you want to go and give her a watch. And she was doing a Marlo cardigan. Yes, we've all done a Marlo, I know. But she was doing it in some fabric that I'd got from Guthrie and Garnet and was humming and hawing about what to make with it. And it looked really nice. So I've made one, I copied her. That's the best form of flattery if you're watching Megan. So I've also made a Marlo in this beautiful soft marl knit fabric from Guthrie and Garnet. And I also had some amazing matching buttons in my stash. Now, I think I bought these from one of the ladies at my social whose niece makes buttons and she brings them in to sell every so often. So I needed to come back, don't I? So the Marlo comes out big. I've made mine in a size small and it's still a bit loosey-goosey. I'll just put it on and then you can see what I mean. So there we go. This top's making it slip and slide all over the place. This is a size small on me. It's how I want it to fit. I don't like them too big, but I still wanted room in the cardigan to be able to wear blouses with a bit more to the sleeve, if you like. This one has floaty sleeves and it's fine. I don't feel like the blouse is all ruched up at the top. Some cardigans you can put them on and yeah, you can only wear them with fitted tops, and that is not what I wanted from this fabric. So first winter cardigan made up, because layering season is on the way, isn't it? And some point in the next few weeks I'm going to do a vlog all about layering garments, or cardigans as us oldies like to call them. I love a good cardi, me. And I need some new ones, so I thought we could plan and make some cardigans together. So if that's something that you're interested in, watch this space. It's coming. Don't know when, sometime over the next few weeks when I can fit it in, to be honest. So that's 2 full makes and 1 finish this week. So I'm pleased with my progress. Even though I should have had 3 full makes and the 3rd one, it's made, but it ain't right. So what make did I mess up on this week? I've made 2 pairs of the pearl pants from Swim Style Patterns. Granted, I've made them both as Bermuda shorts for my hauls that I went on. And the first pair were a little bit snug. The second pair I got just right. So I was confident that this pattern, I didn't need to start doing try-ons, tweaking, do anything. I could just sew it, couldn't I? No. And I'll show you why. I'll put an image of me in these trousers up here. God knows what went wrong. I have not got a clue because I've not altered the pattern. The only thing I can think is that I've done the seam allowances too big. Maybe. But the crotch on these pearl pants is just a little bit too snug, and the rise is wrong. They're too low down. So I spent ages making these pants. Here they are. I did all the details. I put the belt loops on. My invisible zip at the back was super invisible. There it is. I put bias binding around the facing on the inside. Yeah. To say I'm a little bit gutted is an understatement. So what am I going to do to put the rise right and stop it taking the rise out of me? Let's turn them inside out and have a look. Try and figure this out together. I'll come up with a solution live on this vlog, and if you've got any other ideas, let me know. So I have got not a huge seam, you can see the seams there on the rise, on the crotch. So I'm thinking these are going to have to get taken apart. The invisible zip is going to have to come out, possibly. Maybe not. Maybe I can just do it from the bottom of the zip, which is there. Taper the seam out to a really skimpy one. That's just the other side of my overlocking to try and create more room in the crotch, but there's not a lot there if I'm honest. Then the only other thing that I've done, and luckily I didn't trim this seam down, I must have known, the seam on the waistband is there, so I've got that much of a waist, can you see? So I've got a fair bit, probably about 1/2 inch, that I can snaffle out of the top waistband now, and do a narrower seam there as well. Now if I do that, obviously I'm going to have to take my invisible zip out, so the zip's going to have to come out, even though it's flipping perfect. And then just tack the waist facing back on and try them on, and maybe just tack the zip in. If that doesn't work, if they're still looking ridiculously, giving me a hungry bum, then the only other thing I can think to do is, and I don't want to do it, but rather than end up with these trousers that are never going to get worn, and this fabric was Oh, it's to die for. It's so soft, it drapes really nicely. And I'm really gutted, can you tell? So, plan B, if just taking that little bit out, and sometimes that might work, taking that extra from the waistband seam might be the solution. If not, and actually I might have to take the zip out, I can just put a hook and bar, because there'll be extra at the top, I could just put a hook and bar at the top, couldn't I then? To close it. I don't like hook and bars at the tops of invisible zips, particularly at the back where you can't get to them. They're a nightmare. But I might do that. No, I won't. I'll take the zip out. I can't stand that idea. So, if that still does not work, then I'm going to have to bite the bullet and do what I don't want to do with these trousers and put a waistband on them to give me some extra at the top. Now, they do fasten at the back, so that's going to maybe look a bit odd. But the tops that I'll be wearing, even if I have them tucked in, they'll only be tucked in at the front, they won't be tucked in at the back. So nobody's going to see it, are they? Only me. So that is plan B, because I am determined to save these trousers. If you've got a better idea of what I can do, and I know you all come up with brilliant ideas, and I love it when you do, please put it in the comments below, and I will let you know. Might not be next week, because, you know, sometimes when you make a mistake, you've got to put them to one side, but they are not going in my whips bin, because I'm not putting anything else in there ever again. Famous last words. I'm really trying. So these are going to stay out on the top until they're done, and then I don't forget about them. But please let me know what I can do to rescue them. Do you think my solution is going to work, or am I just wasting my time and I've got to accept that these beautiful pants just don't fit me right, and then I will be gutted? So that's me fessing up, because I don't want this channel to be about, oh, look at me, look what I've made. That's not what this is about. And I know sometimes it must seem that way because everything works. But there are still times after 40 odd years of sewing that I still do things wrong. And I did here. Even though I'd done twirls, I haven't got a clue how it ended up like that. But once I've figured it, I need to go back to my pattern, make the adjustments on the pattern before I put it away, and then I don't make the same mistake next time, because I do love the pearl pants. While I remember, I just want to do a quick thank you, well, a heartfelt thank you actually, to a lady called Carly M. And she actually blew me away because she bought me a Ko-fi. I don't get Ko-fis very often, and I don't promote them on my channel because this isn't a money generating channel. It's a nice, happy sewing space where we can all chat. And yes, I make a little bit of money off the adverts, but I don't expect you guys to contribute to my channel. So when I get a Ko-fi, it really warms my heart. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Carly. I really appreciate it. And while we're on the subject of channels and making money, there's been, well, I have been bombarded by YouTube trying to persuade me to do channel memberships. Now, I don't have a problem with other channels doing memberships. That's entirely up to them. Personally, I'm just putting it out there now, it is not going to happen. I'll be honest, I have thought about it on and off, and I've flip-flopped between yes and no, and I've made the final decision. For the foreseeable, there will be no memberships on my channel. Let me know what you think about memberships. Do you pay for memberships for other vloggers? And do you think I should do memberships on my channel? I just feel like I want my content to be available to everybody. And if you appreciate what I'm doing, I do have a Ko-fi account and you can pay money into there, but you really do not have to do it. I'm more than happy with the little bit of money I get from the advertising. And the way that you can help that grow and my channel grow is by commenting, liking and subscribing. I don't say it very often, but if you do that, that is all that I ask for all the content that I put out. So let me know what your thoughts are on memberships and I'll bear it in mind for the future. It's time for me to fess up. Yes, I've been very naughty. Not that I'm not always naughty, but recently I showed you my pattern file that I'd created that had all my patterns in, and it was going to help me not buy new patterns. But guess what I've been and gone and done? Yes, I bought 3 new patterns and I don't care. I really don't care. I'm over it. I got that little bit of guilt when I did it. I thought, why have I done this? But I love all 3 patterns. All 3 of them are going to get used. They are not going to languish in my pattern stash unused. So I'm okay with it. So let's have a look at the 3 patterns that I've bought and I'll explain why I've succumbed and actually bought 3 very nice new patterns. The first one is the dealer dress from Notches Patterns. Now I have shown this dress before, I think when I did a vlog with Steph, and we both oohed and ahed about this pattern. So why I didn't buy it, I don't know, but sometimes waiting has an advantage, doesn't it? Because Notches Patterns last weekend sent me an email saying they had 40% off their patterns for a limited time only. And I thought, oh, sure, I want a pattern from them. Bob done. Bob's your uncle. Dealer dress pattern. Didn't hesitate. Bought the pattern. So that's pattern number 1. I love all the little pleat details. I love the pleats down the sleeves. I like the way there's a pleat at the empire line with the gathers underneath so you can't see all the gathering at your waist. The pleat covers it. And I just think it's going to be a stunning dress for the autumn and winter. The only concern that I've got is what size it's going to come out. So I am going to do a toile. I'm just going to do it in some random fabric that I've got that's not even in my stash. It's in my use this for toiles bag that I have in this, what was my sewing shed. So I'm going to pull a piece of fabric out of there and just make it up and see what the fit's like. But I do want to make the dealer dress this winter. And I'm undecided whether I want to make it in a viscose linen or whether I want to make it in a needle cord or a baby cord. A nice soft one. But I'm bothered that it's going to be too bulky with gathers. So I'm undecided. But I've got the pattern. Gonna do a toile. Pattern number 2 that I fell for was a pair of trousers. Now, after the fiasco with the pearls, I thought I still need some more trousers for the winter. And I don't want some that are going to be a fit issue that I'm going to be disappointed with. You know, when you get that feeling, you lose your confidence a little bit with trouser making. So I've gone for one that's been doing the rounds. and I saw it on Kate Ripperseam's vlog. She's done a vlog all about this pair of trousers, and I'll pop the link below, and TOMKAT Stitchery recently had it on theirs as well. I'll pop the link for theirs, and it brought it on my radar, and it might have done you as well, and it is the Magic Pants from Anne Tilley. Now, I believe these are a strange construction, but they're very forgiving. They've got elastic but hidden elastic in the waistband, and then they've got a comfort panel at the front that you can't see as well. Big pockets, wide leg trousers, perfect. So I'm going to be doing a pair of the Magic Pants, and we'll see how we get on with those. And then the third and final pattern that I bought, naughty me, was the Fjord cardi from Paper Cut Patterns. Now, I'm a cardi girl and I don't care. I like to feel warm in the autumn and winter and the spring, but I don't like to feel claustrophobic. So I like layers, and then I can take them off, put them on, whatever. So cardis work for me better than jumpers do. I do have jumpers and hoodies, and when it's really cold weather I do wear them, but most of the time I will wear a blouse or a top with a cardigan. So I wear them a lot. Am I justified in buying this pattern or what? So here's an image of the Fjord cardigan, or cardi as they're calling it, and I was drawn to this. I just loved how it looked. I loved the fabric that they've made it in, and I found some jacquard knit fabric that I want to make this cardigan in. I'll just pop the line drawings up because it's got panels on the front and the back, and I thought, ooh, that's going to be amazing for colour blocking. So I want to do a two-tone one of it, and I want to do one in all the same colour in a jacquard knit fabric as well. So yeah, looking forward to making the Fjord cardi. So lots of sewing to do. It's probably not all going to get done this week, I've got to be honest, because on Friday I'm going on my embroidery retreat and I cannot wait for that. I'm so looking forward to it. I haven't got anything sorted out yet, so I need to get everything planned and in bags all ready to take with me. I've got to figure out how I'm gonna hike the beast there. It's the first time it will have been moved other than to go for repair, and I'm a little bit nervous about it, to be honest. I have ordered a wheeled bag. It isn't the faff bag because the bag for the faff creative icon, they haven't got them for the icon because mine's a little bit older machine, but the icon 2 one I thought, oh, that'll fit, and when I looked it's £500 and odd for a wheeled bag. Now I get that it's going to be good quality and it's going to be perfect for my machine, but my goodness, I can buy a new sewing machine for that. So I've ordered one from Amazon. There's an image of the one I've ordered. It's due to arrive today. The dimensions mean, hopefully, I should be able to just fit my machine in it. So fingers crossed on that one. If not, I've also ordered one of those pull-along beach trucks in bright pink, of course. And I'm going to look a bit of a mare, aren't I, walking in with my machine, trundling along in a beach truck. But, you know, that's worst case scenario. But at least my machine, I'm not going to have to carry it from the car park into the hotel, because I don't know how far I'm going to have to oik this machine, because sometimes the car park's around the back and you've got to go around the front, you know what I'm saying? So, fingers crossed the wheel trolley works, and if it doesn't, I'm on the very trendy bright pink beach trolley. There's an image of the beach trolley. What do you think? I've got the cover for it that's quilted that comes with the machine, so I'll be putting that on it and then hopefully fitting it in that wheel, in the proper wheel along bag. But we'll see. It's going to be a snug fit, so let's hope it works. Sewing bee. It was art week this week, and again I'm conscious this is a very long vlog, so it's just going to be a quick mention at the end. We lost Stuart this week. I loved Stuart, but you can tell, can't you, when they're getting to the point where they're starting to struggle. And he had loads of ideas, but his sewing skills were starting to take a beating, and I think it was time for him to go. But on a brighter note, let's talk about the sweep that we're doing. And the good news is, well, not for Stuart, but for you guys, none of you picked Stuart for the sweep. So there are still 22 people in the sweep. Oh my goodness. It's starting to get close to the final and time for me to start making you your pincushion desk tidy caddy on my embroidery machine. So if you're one of the 22, you'll know who you picked. Start thinking about the colours that you want yours to be made in, because you're still in the sweep. But I'm only making one of them. I'm not making 22. Not happening. I'd die. So before I go, I thought I'd give you a little update on our Lilster. She's doing fine. We have decided... Are you telling everybody I'm fine? Nothing wrong with me? Yeah, tell them. Say hello. That's Lily saying hello. She loves her cuddles, don't you, baby? So... it's really hard when your pet is poorly, isn't it? And if you don't know, when I went to get Lily's... Yes, you're telling them your story. It's sad, isn't it? Her injection done for her annual vaccine, they found a lump on her spleen. And we had the horrible decision to make of what to do. There is surgery available, but there's... because of her age, it's a risk. She has recently had surgery. You can see the dark mark on the top of her head. She had a lump on her head removed, and she struggled recovering from that. So we've made the really hard decision of not to have surgery and to just let her enjoy what life she's got left. Now, we don't know how long that will be, and weirdly, since we made that decision, she's just got a new lease of life. She's running around, playing with Esme, and back to her old self. So then you start feeling guilty, don't you? Well, she's fine, she'll be fine with the surgery. But I can't keep doing that to myself, can I? And I know you'll all have your own opinions on what we've decided, but please don't put any negative comments. It's a difficult time for us as a family, and we just want to spend as much time as we can with Lily and make whatever life she's got left as happy for her as we can. I know not all of you want to know about this, and that's why I've put it at the end, but a few people asked for an update, and the reason I haven't give you an update is because I didn't want to say it out loud. The guilt that I'm feeling is unbearable, really. It's heart and head, isn't it? My heart tells me that I need her to have the surgery. Sorry, I didn't know I was going to do this. Whew. But I've got to think, yes, are you joining in too? Esme's here as well now. But I've got to think of Lily, not me. And I really do believe that for her not to have surgery and then potentially chemo, which is bad enough for humans, let alone dogs. I know dogs go through it, but personally, I don't want my dog to. So there we go. My sewing is my sanctuary at the moment. Lily sits under my sewing desk at my feet, and I sit and sew, and we're going to enjoy as much of that time together as we can. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have an amazing sewing week, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching my channel, for commenting and supporting me. You don't know how much you mean to me at the moment. Take care and happy sewing.